We are live. I'll be getting going in just a moment. I'm going to post to X first. Got to announce everything on X. X is where it all happens. Everything's set up. Bam, there we are. Let's adjust that camera a little bit there. I don't want it cutting off my head. Nobody wants their head cut off. At least most people don't. It would be very unusual. Alright, that gives me the most head space to move around. I like it. If you haven't played Grim Dawn, it's an amazing RPG. I would call it a Diablo-like. People use a lot of different terms for these. Sometimes they call them action RPGs, but people tend to think of those as third person. It's not a CRPG because, you know, too much on the action side of things. So I think the best way still to describe these games is Diablo-like. Diablo-esque. Hot honey cinnamon tea. At least it was hot. It's kind of warm now. But we can work with that. Alright, let's get rid of this background music. We're done with that. Let's get into the game itself. Here's the character. That's a little too fast, huh? You can't even tell this is a female character. There's just so much going on here. I did try for a while on the veteran difficulty. I was dying repeatedly, like getting just blasted, burnt down within like 2 seconds. But on normal difficulty, which is the only difficulty you're allowed to select, there might be an easier one. You can't go up until you beat the game, I believe. Normal difficulty is honestly too easy. I'm just mowing through everything, so I may alternate between veteran and normal. I wish there was something in between. It's just too easy on normal, and it's a little too hard on normal veteran. What do you do when everything's in the middle? Should we zoom in a bit? Now, you'll notice you can come all the way out, but as you zoom in, this game does this thing that I'm not the biggest fan of. It changes the angle of the camera to swing more downward and towards the character, almost giving more of a over-the-shoulder look versus getting closer to that top-down, which is isometric or oblique, depending on, you know, it's not true perfect isometric. I'm aware of that. It just is what it is. Let me turn the music down just a bit. It's probably going to get too loud, so we'll turn it down to negative 16. Alright, let's move on. I think I've sold all the junk I had. Maybe not. Let's go sell some of this junk.
I'll give you a good price for what I've got left.
How about, we'll get rid of that. We're not going to use that. Corpse dust. What do we put that on? Rings, amulets, and medals. All of mine have something on them at the moment. Let's sell these two things. It's interesting that the NPCs in the towns will attack if enemy mobs get too close, which I think is pretty cool. this amulet, no. And this one, no. Ember Grip handguards, great for the right build. That's not the build I'm going for. Let's go ahead and stash this stuff because I don't need it on me right now. We want as much space as possible. You just fill up on loot in this game, especially on veteran. Veteran mode, there's just so much loot. It starts to stack up. One thing I don't like though is you cannot right-click to automatically move over here. You can right-click to sell, but you can't right-click to just have it move into this territory over here. I'd love it if it would just automatically move over here and then stack with similar items, because maybe there's a way to do it, but I find that like I have to look and try to find the similar thing, like go through it visually and go, okay, that's it, I'll stack that there. Where's that? Oh, I'll stack that there. Where's this one? Maybe I don't have any of that one. I'll just put it there. It'd be so much easier if I could just right-click and it would transfer items and auto-stack them. All right, welcome everybody. A few people trickling in and out. Lots of people like to pop in, see that there's no one else here, and then they pop out. I'm like, dude, you gotta stay. You gotta stay for more people to come. So maybe I'll just start paying my viewers. Is that a thing you can do? I'm kidding, of course. I'm not gonna pay viewers, at least I don't plan to. Let's go ahead and move on to Old Arkovia Rift. Load screens used to be long enough in games where you could get several sips of coffee or tea. Well-programmed games nowadays on a nice SSD, like an NVMe M.2 SSD, you don't have time. You can't even take one sip before that load screen is gone. I'm playing a soldier build. I've always preferred melee, although it kind of feels in some ways a little bit like a magic user because you can just blast everything with that skill right there. That is like the ultimate skill, I gotta tell you. Let me know if the audio balance is good. I want you to be able to hear the game and hear me at the same time. Alright, we're collecting quests, lots of quests. I feel like the quest tracking and presentation in this game is not the clearest. Because, like, right, look at this map. Do you see any quest markers? None, but there are quests around here, so... You know, I know some people hate quest markers, but at the same time, I would much rather have waypoints and quest markers than wander aimlessly trying to figure out where to go. There's just nothing can kill the excitement of a game like having no clue where to go and wandering around aimlessly. You always want the player to feel like they have somewhere to go, something to do, something to fight, something to accomplish. They'll sometimes have items, but not this time around. Oh, dang. They can shoot me from up there? Oh, I can't shoot them because of the... Oh, they can't shoot me either. That's interesting. Oh, wait, no. They can. That's not fair. Maybe it brings new meaning to take the high ground. All right. The other thing I miss that's not in this game that is in other games is... when you can like hold Alt or hold Control or hold Tab and it highlights every interactable item on the screen. Instead, you have to kind of hover your mouse around to look for interactable items, corpses, whatnot. If you guys know of a way to show what can be interacted with, that'd be great. I'd love to know. I've looked through it. I can't find anything at the moment. I may just not know where it is, but we'll see. Maybe I'll switch this to veteran difficulty. It's like too easy on normal, and then normal with the veteran option ticked. I can get just blasted. I can get burnt to a crisp within seconds. So difficulty balancing in the game, I feel like it's not where it needs to be, just because you shouldn't go from mowing everything down and never dying to the next slight step up is you get you know, blown to smithereens in like 1 to 2 seconds, which is literally the difference between normal and normal with veteran ticked. See, so some of these corpses you can search, some you can't. The only way I found to figure it out is to hover over it. See how easy this is on normal? Maybe I'm just really good at playing. Alright, I guess I let him out of here. There are decisions to be made, like I attacked and killed this one guy who killed his partner and stole all the loot that they were collecting. He did claim that his partner had... done something forcibly to his daughter that she didn't want done. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't believe him. Then the daughter later on confronted me and told me that that did happen, and she wants revenge for me killing her dad, and so she attacked me. All right, let's go into this little arena spot over here. Can I search? Oh, here we go. Will this guy be tough? We'll find out here. I've only got 3 main abilities. Well, really just 3. One is the left click, is this one where I hit. The right click is this one. And then the 1 button, hit number, or the 1 key does something. I'd have to look it up again. This is, of course, one of those games where it's impossible to avoid damage. You're not meant to avoid damage, you're meant to mitigate it through armor, abilities, occasionally movement. Like, you can do this, but that's very limited in how many times you can do it. Now it's ready, so you can dodge. I like to funnel enemies into a tight space. Like, if there were a bunch right here, I would lead them this way so that they start funneling through, and then just blast them with Force Wave. Mow them down before they can get to me. I have secured Burwitch, so we can turn that quest in. We'll look for more quest objectives around here. I love that when you bring up the map, it doesn't stop the action. You can keep on moving. See? You can just keep going. And then you can't move the map screen. Come on, let me move this window. Why can't I move this window? That sucks, but not a huge deal. It'd just be nice if I could move it to the side. See how I can mow stuff down in one shot? Of course, these are like trash mobs. Big difference between trash mobs and boss or skull enemies marked with a skull. Polished emerald and a blunderbuss. We don't use guns, but we sell them. We don't use guns, we just sell them. Do we have our FFL, our Federal Firearms License? We don't. Huh. I feel like there's something I should be able to do with that, but maybe it's a quest or something later. Alright, well, I love the Fog of War. I love that you can see where you have and have not been. Excuse me. Alright, so that takes care of that. This is the mine entrance. I think, let's see if I've completed this mine. We'll check it out real quick. That's kind of the iconic character representing Grim Dawn. It's this dude that looks a little more Victorian almost, like a vampire hunter. Alright, let's get this guy shooting at us. Yep, you can use guns if you want in the game, firearms, you can use magic, you can use a shaman. You can, of course, be a soldier like me. And if you've played Diablo, you know how this stuff works. I tried Path of Exile just a moment ago to see if I wanted to try that on stream. And I'm a ways into this game, as you can see. I'm level 18. So I've been playing for a bit. This one actually caught my interest. I've tried many of these games before, and it just wasn't the right time, I guess. I wasn't in the mood for them. But when you're in the mood for a Diablo-like or Diablo clone, what can I say? You're in the mood for it. You want to play it. Oh, that guy had a lot more health on him. And some shield, magic shields or something. Oh, let's grab Wilkins' notes. We can probably read it for XP. Oh, 800 experience. Wow. I thought they usually gave like 25 or 50. That was fun. No, I don't think we need any of that. I tend to collect quite a bit of gear before going through my inventory to see what's better than what I currently have. I don't like to stop every time I collect a piece of armor to check it. The Shotgun of Celerity. Celerity is a word I'd have to look up. I really don't know what celerity means. Sometimes you can break things, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can search certain thingies like corpses, like this one we can search, but up until now most of the corpses have not been searchable. So, would be nice if I could click a button and every interactable item on the screen is highlighted. That way you don't waste time just taking your mouse cursor and like sliding it across the entire screen to see if there's anything that you can interact with. Gotta say, way too easy on normal, but man, if you tick that box for veteran, it's still on normal. You just tick a box labeled veteran. Whew, It goes from me never dying, mowing everything down, to me sometimes dying from full health to dead in seconds, like 2 seconds. Like some stuff hits so hard, by the time I know I'm getting hit, I'm dead. So, some balancing needed there, in my opinion. I'm not an expert on these games, though, so someone else might tell me that they consider Grim Dawn to be the most expertly balanced Diablo-like game in existence. And maybe it is. It's just me. I don't know what I'm doing. I know I'm clicking buttons. I remember they used to call Diablo in similar games like Divine Divinity, the originals, not the new Divinity series. So Divinity went in a direction where it was originally basically a Diablo clone, and they did a couple of those. Then they tried to make it an action RPG. That was not a terribly great decision. It wasn't well received. And then they shifted to the Original Sin series, Divinity Original Sin, in which they made it a CRPG, a computer role-playing game. And they enjoyed a lot of success with the computer role-playing game. They were successful with the Diablo clone style, but not as successful as when they went CRPG with Divinity Original Sin and Original Sin 2. I've got about 60-some hours in Original Sin 2. Never finished it. I'd like to start my previous save game, but I think it may have been lost or something because I couldn't seem to start it last time I played the game, but whatever. I started a new game, and we'll probably never finish it. I really want to like CRPGs again because I used to love them in the past, games like Fallout and whatnot, but lately they just don't grip me the way they used to. Why? I don't know. If I knew why, I'd try to fix it if I could, so I could enjoy them again. I'll tell you one thing I really don't like about most CRPGs is, and some people will call me a wuss or say that, you know, I don't understand what the point of the CRPG is, and that's a valid point about what I'm about to say. But one of the main reasons why I'm not as big into CRPGs like Baldur's Gate 3 or Divinity Original Sin and all those is the combat can just be so complex. Like everything depends on something else. Like you have to be standing in a puddle of blood for this, or you have to put freeze on an enemy before using this for the real effect. And sometimes there's so many different factors you have to consider, and so many buffs to constantly apply at the start of each fight, and debuffs. And I prefer more direct means of combat. Just, you know, stack up some damage dealing skills, abilities, pop those on the hotbar or whatever, and fight away. You know what I mean? But that's not how most CRPGs work. Simpler is better, in my opinion, when it comes to those, but I imagine I'm in a minority on that point, so I can accept when maybe the games just aren't designed for me. Chest guard of protection. Ooh, I got some dynamite. That means we can blow up some blockades. I found one of the blockades and blew it up, but haven't found... Oh, look, yeah, get out of the fire. Don't stand in the fire. That's a key lesson from MMOs and whatnot. We're picking up all this stuff we don't need because we can sell it. And then I'm moving the mouse to see what we can interact with here. That force wave is so powerful. It ends up being like better than anything else I have, so it's pretty much just use that all the time. And I almost never run out of energy, which is like the equivalent of mana. It's like I can just keep going and going and going. You'll notice one thing that people have said about this game is it does occasionally have trouble with stairs. As you're trying to get up the stairs, you can find your character wigging out a bit. Let me see if it happens again. Watch this. Yeah, see? No, get up there. See? So you gotta, like, wait. And, okay, there. See? So if you're right on the edge and you move the cursor over, it will then take you off the stairs. So you gotta be a little more precise about staying on those stairs. Did it again there. And of course, if you hold the middle mouse button and turn, you can turn your viewpoint. Oh, that was like a fire mine of sorts. Okay, anything in here we can interact with? Nah. All right, we'll keep going this way. Sometimes it's hard to see where you can go unless you move the camera. So, but it's nice that you can. Of course, the games where you can't move the camera are designed that way, so you don't have to worry about your view being blocked based on your angle. The angle's always designed to allow you to see what you need to see. Whereas in these games, they can have your view be blocked at certain angles because you just switch the angle of the camera. Okay, that guy was a little bit tougher for... Oh, that was an enemy hero. Okay. Vigorous Murderers Epaulets? I think it's pronounced epaulets. Of Amarastas Flurry. It's a lot of stuff in there. So you don't just look at the armor value. You also want to look at all of the additional stats it gives you in bonuses. And that's where it can get pretty complex in terms of figuring out what is ideal. Some of these games will have an auto-optimize feature, which some people feel like kind of takes away from the game to do that. But as long as it's an option, I'm fine with them including it. This game does not. But to be honest, I think I'd like an auto-optimize. What I typically do in games that have auto-optimize is I use that first and then start looking at my gear to see if I want to deviate from what the game thinks is best. I think that's the best use of auto-optimize. You don't just hit auto-optimize and move on in life. Instead, what you want to do is hit auto-optimize, take a look at what it did, and then compare that to what you think you should do, and then, you know, go from there. Maybe you want to make a few adjustments. Because it doesn't necessarily know the exact kind of approach and combat style you're going for. If you want to do more healing, then obviously you would equip the items that give you a bonus to healing. But if you want to just do more raw damage and you don't heal as much, then you want, obviously, to equip the stuff that's raw damage. Just makes sense, does it not? I kind of wish I could control the character with WASD. I know that's not standard for games like this. But, I mean, they could have moved some of these other buttons, because the S button does that. Brings that up. And I think that's, yeah. The A and D do appear to actually move my character. So I don't have to hold the mouse button, but I do still have to move the mouse for direction. All right, we leveled up. Always feels good to get that pop telling that you leveled. Restore gauntlets, probably junk. Let's add a point to cunning, since our physique is so much... Oh, wow. We're coming right to the end of what we can carry here. Let's go to our skill tree. I was putting a bunch of points into soldier. You can dual class. My secondary class is a shaman, but I don't know. I might undo that and pick something else, or just kind of ignore the dual class thing and go straight up soldier all the way. This will bring me back to life if I die or get close to death, give me more health and whatnot. This adds physique and health, which I don't need unless I'm in veteran mode. So I can see that being far more useful if you're playing on veteran difficulty. Though veteran is not a difficulty selection, it's a tick box for whatever difficulty setting you have. It adds to whatever the difficulty setting is. Let's see, can we do any of these? No. This I'm still trying to figure out exactly how all this works. You need all these devotion points from the shrines, purifying the shrines, but I tend not to have any of them. Like, I've only gotten these 3 so far. I just don't have enough. I'm not encountering enough shrines to really spec much into the devotion. All right, so okay, so this is my basic attack mapped to my left mouse button. And this one is another attack that I could use as my base. It's a blade arc, so it hits multiple things at once. I wonder how they compare. 2 charge levels, 100%, 330% main hand damage, 76% main hand damage. So yeah, that's for crowd control more so than hitting a single enemy like a boss. Like a boss. All right, let's do that. Yeah, I'm noticing Force just seems to do more damage, hits from a distance, and hits multiple. So it just seems to be overall better. Although sometimes I can get pretty hard on the single targets. All right, let's drink a potion there. See, Force just wins every time for me. Of course, I'm spec'd out more in Force than I was in Cadence, the other basic attack. All right, we took down another big guy. Wasn't too tough. We could have died if we didn't drink that potion. But it wasn't like any sort of challenge. Which is disappointing that the game is either like too much of a challenge with the veteran tick box or too little. Let's get that crumbling wall. Hey, it had some dynamite in it. Who hides dynamite in a wall? It's nice that you can break stuff with your ranged attacks. Alright, she's gonna start telling me we can't carry stuff. We'll organize that. Unfortunately, you cannot jump. Can I get in there? How do I get in there? Oh, yes, of course. Surprised I can still pick anything up at this point. My inventory is nearly jam-packed full, guys. The enemies seem to stay dead for quite a while. I don't know the exact condition in which they restock enemies, but it's not just like automatic. Come on now. There we go. Oh, leather belt of protection. Let's see what we got here. Lower on the base armor, 9% physique. What we have now gives us 10% health. 32 defensive, and now we need to stay on offensive because we're not really getting that close to dying unless we tick veteran. Alright, let's see. Which way do I... Oh, we'll go this way. This way. We got something over here. A cave or something? Yeah, right up here. Let's see what's in there. Oftentimes some sort of boss or hero. Something big to fight. Cronley's hideout. What do you want to bet Cronley is in here? Does that make sense? This is the kind of game you can play mostly with just your right hand on the mouse. Anymore. Okay. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. We'll dump some of the... Well, hang on. Maybe that was... Oh, that's just basic, though. If it's white like that, it means it has no special, so you probably don't want to wear it, even if the armor is higher. Of course, you got stuff that's white, yellow, green, blue, and I haven't seen anything above blue yet. That's more offensive, pierce damage, it does bleed damage, and elemental resist. I think that will boost our DPS. Our DPS right now is 1035. Yeah, 1039. So DPS goes up. Let's see if we have anything to bump up our armor value there. You get these little items, you know, little buffs. Not buffs, but modifications to your armor. It can either give it more armor or add an effect to it. I don't think I... Oh, there it is. Put that on there. Boom. That increased the armor by plus 90 health. Well, I don't know, something. It added health or whatever. All right, we'll grab that. And any other junk we can throw out here? Oh, that one's junk. That's not even worth much anyway. It'd be nice if you could see the sell value without going to a vendor, but it makes sense they don't let you see it. It'd be nice if you could see... Excuse me. Dry throat. It'd be nice if you could see the sell value. Then you can make better decisions as to what to keep and what to throw out. Ooh, that dry throat got me. Alright, can I go down here? That looks like something you should be able to go down into, but you can't, obviously. They usually don't put rifts in these caves, so I wonder why put one there. That's interesting. Alright, we're going to go this way. And I think that's the end. Well, at least they're limiting where we can go, so we know where to go. Although, I'm starting to wonder, is there anywhere we can go? Is this just the end of it? Yeah, so there's nothing back there, and this is the entrance, or, well, exit, but it's where we entered. It looks like we can go this way. It's saying we can, but I'm not sure how that works. Let's find out. Yeah, it makes it look like we should be able to go in there. Yeah, see? It shows a connection right there. Although we have to go around and up. Alright, let's do that. Let's go around and up, I guess. Oh, but it shows right here? Oh, it's right here. Okay, I thought that was just rubble. It makes sense now. Oh, that guy was a little tougher. He took more than one shot. One thing I don't like about moving the camera is, watch this. Watch the cursor. When the cursor stops, I'm done moving the mouse. The camera continues to move after I stop moving it. So it's got like some acceleration on it, which I'm not a fan of. I'd rather it immediately stop as soon as my mouse stops moving. That way I can fine tune exactly where I want it. But it tends to like go a little past where you try to stop it. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's back up a bit. I'm going to funnel them in here so I can blow away all these little guys. I don't want the little guys hitting me during the big fight. Alright, we're going to heal up there. Let's get rid of this guy. I don't need anyone else attacking me during the big fight here. There we go. See? When I get a critical, it's in like the... It's like 1,000, 11,000. Which does more than the base attack here, which is 600 to 700 some. But it hits more reliably. It can sometimes be hard to gauge what's better. Alright, could have definitely would have died there had I not healed.
Can't carry anymore.
Alright, we're gonna have to make some decisions about what we're gonna keep here, guys. Let's... Okay, we're not gonna use any of these shields. That... What is that? Magic two-handed axe. Currently equipped? Oh, it's a scythe. Okay, they call it a two-handed axe for whatever reason. That's kind of weird, but whatever. Let's see. I guess we'll just get rid of some boots. That's 76 armor. That's 117, but the boots I have now give me so many more benefits. It's, you know, it's hard to gauge what's better. You can, of course, look at the pure armor, but there's also all those benefits that are stacked on top of it. 155 armor, that's just a ton more, so we may end up getting that just because it has so much more armor. Plus 8% physical damage. That sounds good. We'll do that. Keep that green item. Maybe we can sell it for something of value. We'll get rid of that. Resistant infantry chest guard of protection. More defensive, a lot more armor, more defensive. Fire and cold resist. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Put that one there, and then we will see if we have anything to boost our armor. Nope. This is all on amulets, rings, medals, rings, shields, caster offhands, rings, head, and chest armor. That one works. I don't even know what that did. What did it do? What did it do? Physique, cunning, and spirit. Sounds good. Boosting our stats always sounds like a good idea. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. We'll auto sort these. I don't know. At some point, I got this second bag here. Wait, what just happened? What am I doing? Are there two bags here? Oh, that why not just have it all show? That explains why I was able to pick up so much more than I thought I should. Didn't even know I had two bags there. I don't know why you have to select between them. Why not just continue the window across and show them all? That's what I would obviously prefer, but whatever. It doesn't look like there's anything in here better than what we have. And those are pretty much junk. Man, how long have I had that that second bag and not even realized it? But here's the cool thing, guys. Check it out. Hit the L key. You open up a personal rift. You can go back to Devil's Crossing, the town. You can sell your stuff and go right back to where you were. But will all that stuff on the ground still be there?
Come see what's left of my wares.
Okay. We know we're going to sell all the stuff we can't use. That's a given. Or don't want to use. Nope. Yeah, anything for like magic users, which we're not. Anything that has an X on it, you don't have the stats for. Doesn't mean you don't want it. Might still be better than what you have. But it may be that you don't have the proper physique or level or spirit or whatever. Okay. That looks pretty good, except it's got a bit less armor. Maybe that was better. I don't know. We'll take our chances. Alright, I haven't looked at the rings yet. Problem with the rings is you have to look at 2 rings to try to gauge whether you want the new ring. Pierce cold, health regenerated, cold resistance, chaos resistance, slow resist. I don't do cold damage, so that's irrelevant. We'll sell it. A rare metal. That one has a much higher sell value than what I have. No health regen. We'll sell it. We'll sell those 2. We're starting to collect too many. Cracked lodestone. Decaying claw, fetish of celerity. We'll sell that one as well. Scrap we'll hang on to. We'll store that. Dynamite. Didn't think I'd be getting that much dynamite. I think we already looked through these. If not, oh well. It's too late now.
See you around.
Obviously, one of the best ways to get money in the game is just to collect tons of loot and sell it.
Got something you need stashed?
And then, well, actually, we'll keep the dynamite just in case we encounter a blockade that we can blow it up with. There we go. I might have dual stacks of something in here, but whatever. Required player level 20. Well, I gotta wait on that one. I'm not level 20 yet. Level what? 18? 19. Level 19. It's also hard to tell where you go to turn in quests, honestly. Let's see. I could zoom in. None of these appear to be indicating I've... Oh, is that a quest to turn in? That looks like the quest marker underneath it. Let's go check it out. And what's kind of cool is that you actually see your armor and weapons reflected in your player character. Not all games do that, which is fine. They don't have to necessarily. Oh, no. That's just a quest giver with the quest still pending. The quest has not been completed. If you guys game on PC and you care about getting the best, lowest latency, direct USB connection for your devices, I posted a tweet on Twitter. X, rather. I still say Twitter occasionally. You know, old habits die hard, don't they? And I can show you here what you can do to get this to work. We'll bring this on screen. Make it full screen. I don't think there's any private information or any passwords showing there. Okay. And then what I'll do is swap this over to display. And if you take a look here, you basically go into PowerShell. You type in this command. It runs this application from a website. It appears to be solid as far as we can tell. I haven't had any issues with it. You run that command right there. Then you try to find the green ship 0 ports on AMD only. Sorry, guys, AMD only. Intel doesn't have any direct to CPU USB ports. Once you find the chip 0 labeled USB ports, make sure your mouse and keyboard are connected to those. If you have more than 2, you can of course connect your gamepad to one of those as well. And then you've got a direct connection for all your input devices, direct to CPU, which is the best way to go if you want the lowest latency and least likelihood of something, interrupting it or slowing it down or having potential disconnection issues, whatnot. Won't be 100% cured to disconnection issues, but should be a lot better. All right, we're done here. Let's go back to our personal rift. Oh, we missed a shrine. There was a ruined shrine here somewhere. Might actually be in this cave. Sometimes the shrines are in caves. All that stuff is there, so we'll go ahead and collect it all again to then sell next time by creating our own personal rift. Anything over here? Nope. Turning the camera always makes it easier to tell where you can and can't go. And sometimes to find items. Although, honestly, sometimes I prefer the game having a preset camera angle, and they just make the graphics specifically for that angle and only that angle, so then you don't have to worry about constantly switching it around. Alright, that looks like it opens up to a lot more. Let's see if this abruptly stops with some treasure or something here. This looks like it might be a smaller path, maybe not. Maybe it just loops around. Some areas loop around in here. A lot of firearm users in this segment. Okay, that's the hero dude, so we'll get rid of these little guys, and then we'll tackle the hero dude. See if we can get some criticals. Critical. There we go. Oh, let me get out of the fire. Oh yeah, there we go. The sound of that critical is awesome too. It makes a nice little crunchy sound when it hits. Oh, I got a purple. I think that's the first purple I've gotten in the game. Let's take a quick look at it. Oh wait, it's just scrap? I guess scrap does highlight purple, but I'm thinking more like armor and weapons for purple. Okay, that has much higher armor, but the stats are just not good for me. Plus, it's out of my physique range. This one's out of my level range. It's probably not what I'm looking for. Same armor, but I don't know. I think I'll pass on that one too. I've already looked at these, of course. Blueprint. I don't know where to craft stuff. I need to look that up. I've yet to find a crafting table or crafting whatever, you know what I mean? I've got a bunch of templates or whatever they call them. Not formulas, but schematics for crafting. But I don't know where to go to craft anything. I should probably look it up. It may be back there in Devil's Crossing and I just missed it. Or it might be in a new town I haven't been to yet. Who knows? Alright, well, so much for this being a shorter path that dead ends. This thing goes on and on and on, doesn't it? One of the bigger dungeons I've been in. More accurately, cave. Anything to interact with here? Nope. Okay, so which way we want to go? Back this way? Yes. You can collect these things called untouched meal. Don't know exactly what it does. Beats me. Does it heal you? That wouldn't make sense because you auto heal when not in combat, or actually even when in combat. If you look at my health bar, watch how quickly you auto heal. Bam. So they get you right back into the action. You'll heal a little bit during combat, but so will many of the enemies, if not all of them. So you need to stay on the enemy. Like, watch this. Well, I don't know if there's an enemy that can survive more than one hit. Let's see if there is. Okay, see how... Oh, well, he died. Alright, so we hit that guy right there. Okay. Watch his health. See? It's going down from bleeding, but once he stops bleeding, now it's going up. See? 394, 395, 396, 397. So you can't just run in, hit, and then run out because they'll end up healing up over time. You gotta stay on top of the enemies. Alright, some bees. We better be careful. got some royal jelly. I remember when there were some con artists, scammers out there, really pushing hard for royal jelly as a supplement, telling you about all this amazing stuff it does, makes your skin better, cures cancer, lose weight, cure allergies, just about everything in the books. And it turns out that although it may have some beneficial effects, most people bought it and nothing, nothing. They didn't notice any difference at all. But that's how it is with these supplements. You buy all these supplements and basically notice, for most of them, absolutely nothing. Okay, haven't found a better weapon yet. Sometimes I'm able to buy a better weapon. This is one of the games where sometimes the better weapon will be in the store. I know some games, like, you can never find any decent weapon in the store. They just have basic junk. That's got better armor. We need a higher physique level. Bleed, pierce. Yeah, it's probably going to be better than what we have, so I could hang on to that. And like I said, I love that you can be in the menus. You can be looking at the map, and the game is just still rolling. You can be attacked, you can attack, you can move. Yeah, take that. Hey, it's a dead body. Right now I'm using a scythe, which the game classifies as a two-handed axe. I'm a soldier build. Basically, whoops, wrong one. Soldier build focusing on two-handed. So any of the abilities that require a shield or are best with a shield, I don't spec into at all. I'm here for the two-handers only. Oh, hey, look.
What do you want?
He looks evil. I don't think he's supposed to glow like that, is he? There is some voice acting, but most of the characters it's just text, which I'm fine with. I take you out. Darius bestows more of his magnificent power upon me, and Bourbon hangs. Oh. You are nothing but scum. You deserve to die. So this is where you're making a choice. You may be able to get through this without fighting him, or if you kill him, there may be some consequences, probably not severe. Uh-oh. Let's move in a line here to get all these little leads. There we go. All right, let's get out of that. We'll heal. All right, I'm gonna back through here. Try to get them lined up so I can hit multiple at once. Ah, I'm frozen. Okay. I was shocked into place. Shocking. That wasn't too bad. We probably would have died had I not healed. I think you have unlimited heals. They just go on a cooldown. I don't see where it says how many heals I have or shows a limit. I don't seem to be picking any up, so I think you can heal as many times as you can hit the button, although obviously there's a cooldown. Oh, we got another boss here. Oh, no, never mind. It just said Cronley's gang. I thought that was Cronley himself. All right, let's go this way first. Shouldn't the bees attack those guys as well? How do they have the bees on their side? How do the bee know? How do the bees know who's good, who's like on their side and not on their side? All right, see if these wasps have anything. I guess they're really wasps, not bees, but whatever. There's some decent music in the game, although this cave has none. Would kind of be better with some music, in my opinion. I have it set to auto loot a whole bunch of stuff, and then the rest I loot manually. But for the most part, I kind of just grab everything until I'm full, then use a rift, go back to town, sell what I don't need, store what I want for later, and then get back out there and keep rolling. Anything down here? Item-wise? Yeah, that force wave allows me to kill enemies without even getting close enough for them to hit me. Most of the time, unless they have ranged attacks. Okay. Vigorous restored gauntlets. Yeah. Occasionally we gotta glance through here and make sure we don't have something better just sitting in our inventory. Although on normal difficulty, it's not as big a deal. I almost never die on normal. Like I said, unless I turn on the veteran checkbox. But if I check the box for veteran for this normal difficulty, I end up dying in seconds for many of the harder enemies. It's like my character is ill-equipped to handle veteran mode. Alright, we're going to take out these ether crystals to collect the crystals under them, or in them.
I'm going
Let's
to
get that crystal
enjoy
from
this.
Hey, we got a boss. Holy shit. This guy's got a ton of health. Alright, let's get rid of all the junk he calls. We don't want any ads. Oh man. This could get risky here. Alright, let me get out of that green shite. Okay, let me... I don't want to be in that green crap. He's laughing at me. That's not nice.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, here we go. Now, by the way, if you walk away to let your health recover, the enemy's health is also recovering. Not always at the same rate, but you got to be careful. You don't want to just like run off. Like for example, you don't want to just kite the boss around endlessly because he will recover health. Alright, if I can get the enemy, the ads behind the boss, I can hit them all with the force wave. So kind of two birds with one stone.
Enough of this. Die.
Okay, let's get him behind him. So we're hitting everyone at once here. Breaking these crystal doodads. Oh shit. Popped a heal there. And we got this. No problem. It's in the bag, guys. It's in the bag. Slay Darius Cronley. We got ourselves an achievement. We steam achieved, guys. Oh, that guy's still alive? Thought they were all gonna die. So he's one of those bosses that calls ads. Had himself a nice little treasure chest. You know what? That's probably not better for us, is it? 70 health. Energy restored per second. I'll hang on to it and think about it. Anything else in here, item-wise? Fur-lined boots of readiness. Okay. I love how my character would sometimes just kick shit if I walk up to it and want to break it. Man, moving the character by holding the mouse button down, old school. It's taking me back to the olden days. Anything over here? Corpse. Nothing special, but we got a couple items. Well, obviously that's a dead end. So you couldn't tell completely from the angle I had it at. So we'll go this route here. Well, no, that takes us back. We want to go down there. So how do I get down there? This goes down. Nice. Okay. More dynamite. It sometimes does stutter a little when moving the camera, which can cause the camera to jerk into a different position. Yeah, on veteran difficulty, that might have killed me right there. All those guys shooting at me. It would have either killed me or gotten me very low on health. Iron bits, studded gloves, glove studs. Oh, that's it. What the hell? Oh, okay. All right, so this is obviously a potential issue right here. Because of where I had the camera positioned, this is what I was seeing. That obviously doesn't make any sense, so some wonkiness there. Speaking of which, I've noticed this game does not constrain your mouse. So I'm going to launch a program called Setup Cursor or Cursor Lock. I can't figure out how to make it do it all the time. I have to each and every time tell it what program to lock and then engage it. But now my mouse cursor won't go off screen. Unfortunately, this game does not have a constrain cursor option or an option to lock the cursor onto the game. So if you have a second monitor, if you see my cursor there, as I move my cursor to the right, it'll go off onto the second monitor. And if I happen to click while the cursor's over there, I can click away from the game and the game loses focus, which is obviously an issue. So a game like this needs to have a constrain cursor option. That's like a necessity. And it doesn't. So 0 out of 10. I've just noticed my energy bar has 50 reserved, which isn't autofilling. I don't know why that is. Maybe I got something equipped doing that, or I don't know. Hey, look, people fighting each other. I'll just take them all down. I don't discriminate. You're all going down, except for that guy. He's green. And that guy. And that guy. They don't want to talk to me though. All right, so we got a path to some new stuff. We opened up a rift. Let's actually go through that and sell some junk. This game really does set the atmosphere because you're told that the world is like being taken over by monsters and monsters are killing all the villagers. And if you go to these villages, sure enough, sometimes the village will be attacked. And the NPCs will fight the monsters attacking them. The villages look like damaged. Some of them are completely destroyed, so you'll go into what was clearly an old village or town, and it's just rubble, sometimes still burning. All right, let's get rid of all this junk. It would be nice if there were a sell all items below a certain threshold. There's not, just so you know. I don't know what the royal jelly does. I'm assuming it's for crafting or whatever. Nah. I don't know what ether damage is. I don't know if I'm even doing ether damage. Okay, that one I will hang on to because we might use it later. Set that over there for now. Let's see if this metal's better than what we have. Maybe? Oh, it gives us ice spike. That would be cool. Sometimes the items can actually give you abilities. If you have something equipped that has ice spike on it, then you can then begin casting ice spike as a weapon. Or an attacker ability, rather. But I don't know if it would do a lot of damage if you don't have much in the spirit, which I don't. You can see how low my spirit is. Yeah, spirit magnifies the damage of magical attacks, so that's why I don't want to use magical attacks. My spirit's very low. I'm in low spirits, guys. So that right there is a weapon we could have used had it done more damage. You'll notice if you hover over it, it says I'll do 109 less damage per second, so that doesn't sound good. But if you hit control, it'll incorporate all the extras on your weapon. So with control held down, I'm actually doing 158 less. So I'm doing even less when you factor in all the extra stuff on the weapon or bonuses or what have you. That one's the same armor, but not what we want. Nope. Caustic Etched Horn of Frostbite. Rare offhand. I think that's for casters. Demonic Ribbon of Decay. You know what? Do we want to use that? 21% vitality damage. Chaos damage, vitality decay, plus 15 offensive ability, 3% experience gain, 8% vitality resistance. Tell you what, we will. It doesn't have the health regen, but, you know. It will give us more experience. I would like more items that give experience. That's another thing to think about. We'll learn that ability. Oh, we want to sell that mace. Two-handed hammer as well. Alright, what can we put on this doodad here? Guns, crossbows, and caster offhand. So we can get rid of that. We're never going to use that then. Rings, amulets, and medals. Plus 8% physical damage. Yeah, let's put that on it. Boom. We're going to sell that because we're not going to ever have guns, crossbows, or caster offhands. A rare ring. I think we'll hang on to that one. That one looks like it has a ton of shit on it. Oh no, it needs extra spirit. We're not going that route. Amulet of Alacrity. Goodbye, Amulet. The Cracked Lodestone. No. So Aether Crystals can be used in the creation of arcane items. How do you create anything in this game? Anybody know?
Got something you need stashed?
Boy, the chat is quiet. It happens sometimes. I once went through an entire 2-hour stream with nobody talking. But like, I think like 24 people popped in and out throughout the stream. We'll put that in there to hold that for later. Hold that one for later. Put that one right there. I don't think we need the scavenge plating for anything, do we? Not right now. I have so much of this stuff, I should probably start selling some of it. I don't think I'm going to be able to use it all. Alright, what do we got in here? Let's see. Caster chest? No, we're going to sell that. Nah, see, that does negative 70 damage per second versus what we have now. Nope, none of that's better than what we have. We're going to sell all that junk. I need to figure out how this quest system works and how to read the quest log better. Because I'd like to just start knocking out some of these quests and then turn them in and whatnot, get the experience and rewards, whatever they may happen to be. Quest log is the Q button. Makes sense, doesn't it? Alright. I can't tell what this all means. What's it mean if it's grayed out? What's it mean if it's got a star next to it? Does that mean I haven't done it yet or I've done it? Are these all completed quests? These are quests yet to be completed? That one I need to turn in. Okay. So, 3 of 50 devotion shrines. You see how few of these shrines I've found? Doesn't have anything in there about quests. So, where do I find this Securing Burwitch quest giver to turn it in? Doesn't show on the world map. It's kind of a bummer. And it doesn't it doesn't really appear to show in here, so that's kind of a pain. I'd like to know where to go. to turn in my quests. That would be nice. What I was doing is just kind of wandering through the town, seeing if anyone had a yellow exclamation point. Or not yellow exclamation point. Yellow question mark, I think, means you can turn it in. But I don't think there's anyone over here. I restored this bridge. You have to get scrap and iron to restore bridges. Up until then, it was locked off. But you can open up more of the world as you play. Makes sense, right? So, where do I find this quest stuff? Let me see if it tells me in here. Find a rift gate within Burwich and secure it for the survivors. Burwich is located to the north of Devil's Crossing past Whitmire. Okay, so who do I give it to now? So, where do I go to turn it in? That's my question. Now that you've proven yourself, Rook should let you inside. Speak to him. Yeah, I've already done that. I don't know why it's starred, though. Does that mean it's done and turned in? You may need to earn Bourbon's trust first. So where's Bourbon at? Where's any of this shit at? Like, where do I go to turn any of these quests in? Alright, let's do this. Let's look up some stuff. Grim Dawn, where to turn in quests. I don't know if that's a useful question to ask. Oh, first thing that comes up on everyone's favorite website, Reddit, is it just me, or does the game tell you nothing about where to go for quests? Then we have some asshat saying we'll pay more attention. That's the problem with Reddit, is people generally aren't helpful. They're just like insulting, mean-spirited. They're just jerks. They post something unrelated. A meme text, meme lines, off topic. The game tells you, you probably skipped the dialogue. Well, when you're picking up multiple quests, you're probably not going to remember all the details of the quest text for all of those 5 to 7 to 12 different quests you picked up. Furthermore, not only can you not remember them during a single gaming session, but what if you pick up 7 quests, then you have to put the game down for a bit, and you come back the next day, you're expected to remember the text and instructions from all of the quests. Obviously, you can go in there and look at it, but as you can see, if I go in here and look at these quests, let's see what this one says. Harmon's lust, blah, blah, blah. He told you, blah, blah. Too horribly meet Burwich. Return to him after they are dead. Okay. Where is Harmon? This guy here says, on Reddit, this asshat says, never had a single issue with finding my way by reading the dialogue and quest descriptions. So he never had an issue finding his way. Let's read the quest description. Where is Harmon? He told you Balros Hogground the Moldering Fields, too horribly mutated soul, blah, blah, blah. Return to him after they are dead. So where is he? He's in Devil's Crossing, right? Well, this is Devil's Crossing. Where is he? Is that him? Oh, that's Harmon. I thought we were done with that quest, are we not? Let's take a look. Apparently not. We've got neither of them slayed. I thought we have slayed both of them. So which of these quests are... Does this mean this needs to be turned in? The inner prison of Devil's Crossing is guarded by Rook. Speak to him outside the gates of Devil's Crossing. I already did that. So does that mean that one's turned in and done? Okay, so assuming that means it's turned in and done, then all of these are not turned in? Is that what that means? Let's see. Isaiah's likely just further down the road, his journey burdened by a cartload of scrap. Okay, I already did that too, so why does that have a star on it? What's the difference between the ones that are starred and not starred? Grim Dawn quest log. Okay, here's a question on Reddit. How can I tell which quests I have completed? See, if you're questioning it and then you go online and do a search and other people are posting the same question because they can't figure it out, it's a good indicator. Not a guarantee, but it's a pretty good indicator to the developers that their interface design is not clear. Most games make it abundantly clear which quests are done. This game does not. It's not easy to figure out what this means. It's got a check mark, so you can assume that means you completed it, but you have to turn them in. So you would assume what? The star means it isn't turned in, or is turned in, is ready to be turned in? Does the grayed out mean it's not ready to be turned in, or that it's already turned in? None of it's clear. Instead, there should simply be a tab here for, here are your current quests that are not complete. Then, in here, you could put an indicator next to just write complete or whatever. Then have a tab for all completed quests that have been turned in. Or have this be all the quests that are not complete. This be quests that are completed with an indicator what's turned in and what's not, which is made abundantly clear. Nothing's clear about that. Nothing. It is very unclear. Let's see what this... Let's see what these Reddit douche nozzles say. As far as I know, the only way to track it in-game, other than achievements, is look at what you've completed on the map in the form of portals. There's a website, guys, grimtools.com, where you upload your character save file and it tells you what you've completed. Why is that a third-party tool? Quest log. You can press H and look for... Okay. I'm not pressing H, so let me try H instead of Q. H is help, not quest log. So that guy is also wrong. Whoever he is, he doesn't know that the H button will bring up the same general menu, but it brings you into the help. Q brings up that in the quest area. So it's really not the H button, it's the Q button. So he got that wrong. Of course, it's not helpful in any way, shape, or form because everyone's already looking at the quest log. They probably already know about it. And they're asking because the quest log is not clear. So that's disappointing. Yeah, you shouldn't have to Google, how do I read the quest log? It also says you can press J for the journal. Okay, so this is wrong. J brings up the factions, not the journal. So whoever said press J is also wrong. So you got someone saying press H, which is wrong. You've got someone saying press J, which is wrong, although H will eventually get you there if you know to switch. You press Q for quest. So we got quite a few Redditors that are expressing to us their dumbassery in trying to help people when they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, to open the main interface, then look for the tab with a key icon or a red book on the map. What? To see current and completed quests. Using the inner tabs for different categories like active quests, key with red check mark for completed, and lore. A key with a red check mark for completed. Okay, we know we can figure that's completed, but which ones are turned in? Start or on start? Now that you've helped Kasparov and Barnabas, you should report back to Bourbon and Devil's Crossing.
See anything you like?
Whoops, is this Bourbon? No, that's Harmon. So it wants me to report back to Bourbon and Devil's Crossing. So let's see, who is Bourbon? That's Kasparov. Kasparov, the friendly quest giver. That's Captain John Bourbon, okay. But the indicator on him...
We need a secure
indicates there's nothing to turn in. Okay. So the quest to turn back into him is still has a star on it. So that means we've already turned it in, I'm assuming. So then I assume the grayed out ones are not yet completed. As in you haven't turned them in. Okay. Faldus was out scavenging mission for Devil's Crossing when he became trapped by a bunch of Rift Scourge. You convince him to take your Rift Gate back to Devil's Crossing. Speak to Faldus inside the prison. So I'm assuming this one needs to be turned in, right? So let's look for Faldus. There's Faldus. Is that green thingy a turn in doodad? Nope. Okay. That turned white, but we didn't get any credit. And it's still not highlighted. So why are some of these highlighted? Why are some of these not grayed out with a star and some grayed out without a star? So now we got to go online. Grim Dawn star next to completed quest. And look up what the developers completely and utterly failed to make clear in the interface design. The interface design in this game is not great. It's in terms of the quest log, it's, in my opinion, it's absolute trash. It's garbage. I would take this whole quest setup they have, that whole log there, completely 100% scrap it and start over from scratch. It's just awful. All right, a star next to a quest in your journal signifies a main story quest that progresses the game's narrative. Okay. Were we ever told that? Maybe I missed it, but I don't think it ever told us. Journal star, yellow or gold, indicates a core mandatory quest. A mini-map star shows the direction to your current objective for an active quest. All right, a mini-map star. Hey, look. There's a star. It's on the mini-map up there, so let's go to it. Watch this. This will be another fail. That's not the guy, but I'll talk to him just because he's green there. All right. So here's our star. So let's talk to her. We can turn this in. Nope. So that information I just read, complete bullshit. It's an absolute 100% lie. No, it does not indicate your current objective. The star in this case indicates the quest giver who has already given the quest. There's nothing to be done at that star location. So that all that information I read is a lie. So several Redditors are either lying or don't know how the game works, giving you false information. The AI narrative there, the AI summary from Google gives false information that's also untrue. So yeah, where do you go to get accurate information nowadays? Internet, they say the internet can tell you everything. You can find anything on the internet. You can find tons of misinformation. So what I just looked up was all completely false. All of it was false. Well, not all of it, you know what I mean? But basically what it was saying was wrong. It was false. Okay, so if we look on this map, I can't zoom in. There's no way to tell where the quest givers are, where the quest objectives are. There are no indicators here. None. Zero. So let's go to local map. Again, that star is not the quest objective. The Google summary is false. That's a lie. There are no stars anywhere in here. Okay, I got this zoomed out as much as possible. Quest. Currently active quest. So the quest giver is the currently active quest. There's nothing to be done there. So why draw attention to it? All right, let's scroll through here and see. Am I scrolling? Am I continuing to scroll? I think so. Let's scroll all the way down here if we can. So you can't even tell if you're still scrolling. There's just nothing. It's empty. Hello? Wait, can I get back to where I was? By scrolling? Okay, it looks like maybe it's doing nothing now. So, yeah. There's no, you can't see any of the quests anywhere on the map. They're not showing anywhere here. They're not shown on the world map. So all that information I looked up online just now about how it puts a star for your current quest objective is, at least as far as I can tell, an absolute complete bullshit lie. It does not. Let's go to an area and see if it will show us the star when we're closer. Wouldn't make sense. That shows us an item. That's an entrance to a cave. Nothing there. Let's go to another one. Let's go all the way out here. Oh, I got attacked. It's trying to beat me up. What's in here? Nothing. Nothing there indicating any quests. Let's go. Is that the one we're at? Yeah. Let's go back one. Nothing here indicating anything about quests. Let's go to this one. Let's see. It does show a merchant. It shows Torben. Is he a quest guy? Certainly doesn't. It just says NPC. See quest, currently active quest. Alright, how many currently active quests can I have? One? How do you set one as the currently active quest? I can turn them off, but if I turn them all on, shouldn't they all be currently active? Right? So now they should all be currently active. Nothing. So according to this, there are no quests anywhere in any of the areas I've explored. I don't think so. So let's go to this NPC over here and see if we can turn in a quest with him, and if the game just doesn't tell you jack shit. It just leaves you hanging for everything. Oh, but Fox is one of those games where you have to actually read it and pay attention. You know, that's one of those arguments that sounds good on the surface. It really does. And it probably makes you feel better to argue that, because you have a sense of superiority that, you know, well, I'm paying attention and I'm actually reading, and I'm not just looking for, you know, the yellow paint in the game to tell me where to go. Sounds great. In practice, you end up with players having no clue where to go, no idea what to do, getting lost, not knowing where to go. And what do you think most players are going to do when that happens? I think we all know the answer to that. They're going to put the game down and move on to something else. Okay, so sometimes you can get stuck in a loop. See? That will loop endlessly, clicking shit. Alright, so nothing there. So it would appear we have no way to tell where the quest givers are. Let's go over here, see if it'll show us a quest giver. Or anything. Shows us an item we missed, but nothing else. Let's go back in here. Let's go to Twin Falls. Let's do this. Let's take a look. And then I need to get rid of this on my second monitor. Okay, we're back. Let's take a look around here. What do we got? We've got... nothing is marked. There are no markings anywhere of anything. Other than... these two things. There's this guy here. Nothing. Okay, I don't think we can repair this. Yeah, it doesn't give us an option. So we got nothing there. Oh, but find your own way. Yeah, I'm going to spend a little time looking, and then I'm going to say, you know what? There are other games where I don't wander aimlessly, not sure what to do. I'd rather not wander aimlessly, not knowing where to go and what to do, because that's not fun. There's nothing fun about it. It's the antithesis of fun, which makes it a bad game. I'm not saying this is a bad game. I'm saying if you leave the player hanging, not knowing what to do or where to go, then yeah, you know, you've kind of defeated the purpose of the game. I always tell people, first and foremost, the games are for fun. It always has to be fun, always. That includes above challenge and difficulty. And definitely, it goes up above graphics, art style, story. It's not contrary to it. It's not a dichotomy. It's not like you have to choose one or the other. It can either be fun or have a story. No, you can have both. But if the story gets in the way of the fun, like there's too much of it, you're just sitting there watching instead of playing, then yeah, that has failed as a game. Every game that ceases to be fun has failed as a game. Now, of course, it's somewhat subjective. Not everyone enjoys the same thing. Alright, so I can continue to move to new areas, but finding how to complete quests and where to go has been an absolute just misery. It has been an absolute fucking nightmare trying to figure out where to turn in the quests, where to go to get the quests, or not to get them, to complete them. Alright, we leveled up. Okay, let's go ahead and put some stats into Zeke. And then for skill, I think we'll dump the rest into Cadence to max it out. And then after that, excuse me, my nose is itchy. We will do... what is this? Uses a low center mass and powerful swing to imbalance your opponents. Powerful downward strike to throw enemies off balance, weakening their defenses. We'll increase that. Better chance of getting it, more effect. Oh, we went into something. We're inside the swarming hive, I think. Have we already done it? No? Yeah, see, so the other problem with this game, as much as I want to like it and have fun with it, is this horrendously awful difficulty balancing. It is so horribly balanced that, first of all, you can only choose normal difficulty until you beat the game, which I absolutely despise when games lock off difficulty behind completion of the game, because if you find it too easy, your experience of the game, your first experience of the game, is subpar. It's not what you want. And you're forced to have a experience of the game that is not ideal for you. I don't know why they would do that. It's a terrible idea in my opinion. Always a bad idea. Never a case where it's appropriate. But that's what they do. They lock off your ability to make the game the difficulty you want, contingent on you completing the game at an excessively lower difficulty than what's appropriate for your skill level. Horrendously bad game design. And on top of that, you can click that box, like I said, for veteran, even on the one and only normal difficulty that I have access to. But you hit that box for veteran, and you go from massacring everything easily to being what feels like one shot in the span of a second. Like, I went from never dying to turning on veteran difficulty and dying over and over and over again to normal enemy encounters. Some of them, not all of them. I'm not sure how I would beat any of the bosses on veteran, because they could just burn through all my health in like 1 to 2 seconds. So I don't know. I don't have access to any tools to stop that from happening. That would just, you know, you don't have the capacity to dodge very much. I have this jump ability, but I can use it like once, and then I gotta wait quite a while before I can use it again. So there it is. I'm trying to find there it is in the center. So one jump, second jump. That's the time frame between them. You can of course move your character, but you can't run. There's no other sort of dash or anything. The jump is the closest you've got, and you don't have enough access to it to avoid damage. Enough damage, rather. So you basically just get locked into taking damage, and on veteran, you just die constantly. And I'm not really sure what I could do to stop that from happening. Like what tools they even give you in the game. Other than trying to get better gear and whatnot, but you're already doing that. Alright, so we could go this way. We continue to collect quests, but can't figure out where to turn them in because it doesn't tell you where to turn them in. Sometimes it kind of does, but it'll say, oh yeah, turn this back into Jimmy. Okay, where the fuck is Jimmy? You gotta tell me where Jimmy is for me to know where to turn it in. If Jimmy is the turn-in point, the turn-in place, I need to know the place that Jimmy is gonna be at. But a lot of people seem to love this game. I don't know if it's just me or what. They just keep coming. You see how they're like 0 challenge? It sucks that veteran ups the challenge ante so high, it becomes almost unplayable. It'd be nice if they had some sort of balance to the difficulty in this game. They don't. It's either you want to just massacre everything easily and never die, or do you want to die constantly over and over again? Just simple mobs. Oh, he's gonna kill that guy. Look at him. Attack him. Oh, it's a trick, of course. It was staged. They do have little neat things in there like that. See, it's so easy to get turned around in this game. Like, there's a lot of areas that just loop around, and then you have to backtrack. Someone else complained about that in a video where they talked about the game. That there is quite a bit of backtracking. And what can make it worse is that the enemies don't respawn at that point. So you're literally going to backtrack through nothing. Just empty area. Did I already go in that right there? Cave entrance. I feel like I did, yeah. Isn't that the wasp cave I went in? Oh. Did I get them all? So we can go up here. Might be something we haven't explored yet. Yes. I figured some enemies would jump out here. Alright, let's get these archers. Done. Though this looks like it goes nowhere, right? Yeah, just to the... Oh. Sometimes it stops you real short at the end of a bridge, even though it looks like you should be able to walk up to the edge. It just stops you like 20 feet before the edge. Kind of awkward. Okay, how do I get over there? Can I not get over there? Oh, go through here? Oh, look at this. What is this? Can I go down in there? Ruin entrance. Alright, let's take all these guys out. Pick this up. Come on, pick it up. By the way, if you hold the shift button, you'll stay in place and won't move while attacking. So you don't have to worry about hitting the left click and then accidentally moving when you're done attacking something. Because both your basic attack and move is mapped to the left click of the mouse. You can play this with gamepad. I did not like that experience, so I tried it and then immediately quit and went back to mouse and keyboard. Alright, let's check out these ruins and we'll probably call it at that. Get down there. Alright, I anticipate a boss being in here. It just makes sense that there would be, right? Okay, what do we got? Nothing? Pretty empty so far. Aha! We'll move up here, funnel everyone into a line. Oh, we got a ghost. Those are hard to hit with melee. You gotta use some other ability. I notice I miss a lot with my melee. A polished emerald, why not? Oh, that had something in it. Mask of Olzin's Unzi? Something. Treasure chest. Oh boy, there's so many little rooms and whatnot. It would take a while to run through this entire place, I imagine, and search every nook and cranny. Which you probably won't do. There we go. Got this group. Oh, we got some ghosts coming in. Sometimes it's good to funnel them all. Like you can pull them through this little point, funnel them through the doorway, and hit them all at once. Except for the archers. The ranged guys will stay back. Oh, we hit another level. Oh, we got a boss character here. Let's get rid of some of these ads. I don't like the little guys hitting me while trying to fight them. Oh, shocked. Alright, we're gonna go toe-to-toe with this guy. See what he does damage-wise. Could I get away without you? Looks like it. Oh yeah, we got this. Boom. Enemy hero is down. Sometimes I wish I went with the shield build, and then you can collect more items. More exciting to get something to upgrade whatever you already have. But we're a two-hander, guys. We're swinging the two-hander. Didn't see anything super special in there. Boy, sometimes it gets exhausting trying to compare everything you have, figuring out what's better. There's so much of it. I know that's part of the allure of the game, but at the same time, you just get overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, all this stuff. What's the best stuff? Wait, they have this really cool looking spot here and you can't do anything with it? Really? That's a bummer. Oh, there we go. Come on, pick it up. Nope, rubble. Decaying iron cleaver of cruelty. Oh, it's a one-handed, dang it. It sucks when you pick up a really awesome weapon, but it's just not what you're going to use. Bam! Like 5 at once. Oh, here we go. Is this the exit? We haven't fully explored, but we already beat the boss. Or is that the entrance back there? Yeah, actually. Is that the entrance we came through? Might be. See how easy this is on normal without veteran? But it's just too difficult on veteran. You get blasted away into nothingness repeatedly. Anything in here? Enemies appearing out of the floor. Alright, did we get another two-handed weapon? I don't see it. Oh, hold on now. Oh, wow. Even with the extra stuff we have on what we're using now, that gives us 105 extra damage per second. It's going to be a huge boost right there. Let's see if we can add anything to it. That adds fire damage. Though we're not really a fire build. But if that's the best we have, 4 physical damage plus 12% physical damage. I think we'll put that on it. Is it the best thing? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, there's another one, but I doubt it's better than what we have. Let's see. No, it is not. Not even close. We got a huge upgrade on our weapon. And of course, weapon upgrades make the biggest difference. Maybe I should go back and play the original Diablo at some point. I have played it before, I just never made it all the way through.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh, I'm getting full. Forgotten Passage. Oh, it's a quest item, okay. I don't like that you have to cycle through these 2 extra bags. I'd rather they just show it all on the screen at once. Yeah, there's no way to like drag it out. So much stuff to look through. Most of it I know automatically is not going to be better just by giving a glance at it. None of these look any better than what I have. That one looks kind of cool, but whatever. We're not basing it on cool. Sometimes if you auto sort your inventory, you'll be able to add a few more things to it. Uses a grid-based system. I'm a fan of the grid-based system. I know some people hate it, but I like it. Deus Ex uses it as well. We're about to come to an end no matter how much sorting we do, how much fit in these 3 bags of ours. Nice try. Not gonna get me.
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I'm running out of space here. What I will do is get rid of some simple white label items to replace with this yellow one. Then we'll create a rift, go back to town to sell all this stuff, store a few things, and then we'll be good to go to collect more.
See anything you like?
most of these I immediately know I'm not going to use, so. Sting of Squalls, a rare amulet. Nah. Looks like more of a caster's item. Devil touched ammo. Moving quickly through these. Okay. Anything else to sell? Enchanter's Insignia. Epic Metal. We're not an enchanter. We're going to start selling some of these that we don't need. Let's see. What is this? An inscription doodad? I don't have one of those, but that might be just for casters. Nope. Metals don't go there. Spell-woven threads. Nope, that's for caster. I might be getting rid of stuff I should keep, but whatever. I've got tons of those. I've got tons of that. I'll hang on to those. I've got enough of those. I got enough of those. I'll hang on to those. And yeah. Alright, will it tell us if there's a quest giver we can turn something into yet? Not here, at least.
Safe storage, no questions.
Should we keep... I guess we'll keep that as a quest item so we can turn it in. Boom. There we go. Alrighty. Alright guys, with that I think we'll call it for today. That's a good about a little under 2 hours, but we got some good time. And let's boost up our cunning and let's hit the skills before we end the stream. We've maxed out those two. This one, it'll go up to an 18% chance, 133% main hand damage, 35% to all damage, reduce their defenses. I like that. I wonder though if I should pump more into here so I can get these additional things. Experience in some of the toughest theaters of the blah blah blah. Survive ordeals that would be fatal to others. Plus 6 health regenerated per second. Increases health regeneration by 5%. That would be useful in higher difficulties. Markovian's Defense. Negative 9.5 seconds skill recharge. Total damage modifier negative 10%. Negative 10% shield recovery time. Let's see. With ranged weapons, Cadence has a chance to pierce through enemies. Force wave shatters through enemy defenses, inflicting grievous harm upon exposed weak points. That sounds good. Let's get closer to it. Bam. We got 1 point in it. Nice. I don't think we have enough devotion to do anything, do we? No, I'm just not finding these shrines, guys. Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and call it. Thanks for everyone that stopped by. Appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video or the stream, whatever the case is here. If you're seeing it after the fact, you can like the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe, all that jazz. You know how it works, guys. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Awesome stream. We'll see you all next time. Bye.